people who posted their story on Reddit and the person in said story found it. How did it go? I once posted on r/games about how I worked for a game company on a localization and how I wasn't paid fully. I went into great detail about what I exactly worked on and which company it was, smaller indie company. My post got taken down for some bullshit reason after a few hours, and coincidentally I was contacted by the company through Skype on the same day after not hearing from them for quite a while, and got my full pay. I gave them information about my colleague who also didn't get his full pay, and he got paid fully too, which was good money for him since he lives in Poland. Edit. Since this unexpectedly blew up, I wanted to clarify that I'm not saying that the company got the post pulled from Reddit. There is zero evidence for them being involved in that. I asked them personally about the payment before posting anything online and even waited for quite a while. I wasn't even expecting the remaining payment since a few months had already passed. It just suddenly came as a nice surprise. Told a story about a guy I knew in high school that I hadn't spoken to in a few years. He saw it, reached out to me. We talked about how we were mutually attracted to each other in high school. He was broken up with his long-term girlfriend, so we hooked up once, and then he went back to her toxic crap again. Oh well, I got to scratch that itch. He still has my copy of a book that a friend of mine put a handwritten note on the front page of, though. I've offered to send him a new copy of his choosing and pay for shipping if he'll send it back, but he ghosted me. Maybe he'll see this post too and send me good omens. Jesus, moms like this are the freaking worst. My ex assaulted me at his parents' home, and they heard me crying and came to check it out, and his mother had the audacity to tell me to leave because I was being rude. For crying too loud, I guess. I'm so sorry for what you had to go through. That's honestly insane. I hope they both get what they deserve, and I hope you're doing much better these days. I was leaving my ex, and as he was throwing my things out of the 2th-floor window onto my dad's truck, $5,000 in damages, he threatened to shoot my dad. His mother was there, and I called 911 again, so they would change the call to lights and sirens, and freaking get there. His mother told me to stop being dramatic. He had locked himself in the house with multiple firearms and was losing his shit. He assaulted an officer, and they had to taser him. My sister posted about her abusive ex, and he saw it, but the thing is it wasn't trending, so the only way he could see it was if he went to her profile and found it. Then instead of sorting it out himself, he had his mother call her and ask her to stop embarrassing her poor boy. That seems about right for an abusive ex. Once they don't have a hold over you, they are completely powerless and need someone else to step in and fight their battles. A few years ago I made a comment on a post about families on the day before Thanksgiving where I mentioned that one of my cousins stabbed his mother to death. My son, whose screen name I didn't know, replied, "Tell them about the cousin who killed a prostitute." A stranger popped in and asked how many of your family are here, to which my son replied, "I dunno, we'll find out tomorrow at Thanksgiving." A bit indirect, but outcome was life changing. I made a post about dating a coworker, now current partner, on a forum for step parents. He has a child, I do not. Then, a few months later I posted on r/amethyst hole about something unrelated, and the post blew up. My other coworker found the ATA post and the post about dating a guy with a son and told my partner and my boss. My partner was okay with it, although mildly upset that I didn't bring my concerns to him originally, but my boss told me that while dating a coworker wasn't prohibited or wrong, but it would negatively impact my career. My partner was told congratulations and got a promotion shortly after. I was demoted. It did negatively impact my career. Thanks, Dan and Sean. You'll suck. My partner and I both quit a few months later. First of all, anyone who spells Sean like that automatically becomes an asshole. Like WTF even. I have a friend who handled social media for a popular video game company. She found a series of Reddit posts by someone claiming to work for customer service at the company. They were promising to escalate individual complaint tickets and other karma whoring stuff. My friend was tasked with going through the person's comment history so they could figure out which employee was fucking around. Their comment history was regretful and full of explicit descriptions of their sexual history, as well as unflattering fitness progress photos. My friend then had to go and sit this person down and tell them their profile had been found and to please stop writing comments in her capacity as an employee at the company. I would have died. They're lucky to still have a job. I'm honestly surprised they didn't get fired if they were giving out special treatment in exchange for karma. I was giving someone anonymous career advice on Reddit in the corporate office of company that I worked. DM'd me and basically told me to stop. They saw my post and basically internet stalked me until they figured out who I was. They said they knew my identity in their DM. It was a super 1984 moment for me. In what context would your employer care that you were giving career advice to someone? I found that a friend of mine posted about me on r/amethysol. He is a really close friend of mine, and I forgot to wish him on his birthday for the second time. He got a little angry, didn't say that to me though. He still doesn't know that I know. I felt awful about forgetting it. I was in that phase that I had no clue what day or date it is. But I will make it a point to not disappoint him in future. I have a poor memory, so I put important dates on my phone calendar with a lot of reminders. It helps me a lot, so I'd consider it worth a try. Not my post, but still a good story. I saw a trending post on some relationship sub about a guy whose stepfather was abusing his sister. I didn't give it much attention at the time. The story went on and on until the abuser got arrested or something, because some random guy called the cops on him or something. Weird story. Long story short, Op was my younger brother's internet friend from the other side of the world, and it was my brother who somehow managed to anonymously get the guy arrested. Can anything make you prouder than your siblings getting a Florida man arrested? Vented about a friend. Said friend had apparently been snooping my Reddit account. She has a long history of going through people's devices to snoop and find info. I hadn't given her my Reddit account. She decided based on that post to ghost me. I reached out a couple times and then she blew up at me and said all kinds of awful things. But honestly, good riddance. She used to tell me about snooping on her husband and other people. That stuff always made me uncomfortable, but I tried to be supportive because we'd been friends for so long. And she always had some kind of justification. But she has always been surrounded by drama and conflict, and we had had a falling out before. I should have known it would come around to me again. I had another throwaway account where I posted stories about my mill. One weekend when visiting her she started repeating things almost verbatim from the comments and stories. I think it was just a power play to let me know she had found the stories. I played it cool, pretended I didn't recognize anything she was saying, and then promptly deleted the account, started a new one and changed the easily guessable if you know me password on my phone. It didn't make her stop her shitty behavior. But now that she knows I'm onto her manipulation tactics she tries to be sneakier about them and work harder to get my husband on her side. Shoulder shrug. I had made an entitled parent post and the Ep's son found it and showed it to his mommy. She then came knocking on my door, asking me to take it down. My Reddit username was my IRL name. I told her that I couldn't do that, and she threatened to report me to police for putting her in something she didn't give consent to. I told her it didn't matter because no real names or location were mentioned. She stormed off in a hurry. I never to this day have dealt with her again. I would have said okay, go do that. This way she'd have to humiliate herself. She'd go to the cops, they'd have to read the story, they'd laugh, tell her she can't do shit, and laugh some more. Not exactly me and kinda opposite, but I broke up with my boyfriend after I finally stopped ignoring my feelings that there was a reason my boyfriend was emotionally unavailable. I saw his deleted Reddit post a week after asking relationship advice if he should text his ex from 3 years ago because he just realized he'll never love someone the way he did her. That was pretty fucked up to read but also relieving. but you know what they say, don't go looking for things you don't wanna find. Edit words. On a different account I posted about some relationship troubles I was having during my first few years of college. Basically my girlfriend had moved down to California to go to hers, and I stayed where I was to go to mine. Being fairly used to sleeping in the same bed, we used to fall asleep over Skype next to each other. But around second quarter I had woken up to her masturbating while taking pictures. What turned out to be video to someone with Skype still on. I asked for help. Most people were creeped out by the sleeping over Skype thing. It was very unhelpful. Turns out she didn't see it. One of the people she was recording for did. Turns out she was cam-girling for spending cash. He showed her profile and everything, and yeah, it was her. She used to do this I'm cuckolding him thing for them talking about me. So apparently the stories were creepily similar. And he told her his next paid session with her, and she came to talk to me. We managed another quarter with me feeling that out, but I just couldn't. I don't share well. Dude was bro as fuck though. Years ago on a different account I shared a story about this dude while overreacting to my BFF telling him she wasn't interested. Me, being young and foolish, had a username that I used everywhere else. He found the story, recognized the name, and showed up in my DMs. He was not happy. I deleted my account and made a new one straight after with a brand new name I had never used before. A few years later my BFF's boyfriend at the time found a story I had posted about a D&D campaign we were both in. I had to delete that account too. I've not had good luck with this. I posted about a smelly neckbeard ex that tried to keep all my things when we broke up, and how I had to escape with my things when he finally went to sleep after 3 days of non-stop gaming. He sent me some messages asking if I posted that and why I would say that. I didn't answer him, logged out of the account, and kept on keeping on. Keith, if you see this, you never brushed your teeth or showered, we never had sex, because your dick was fucking nasty. You ought to be ashamed of yourself for the way you treated your mom and sister. Get your shit together, dude. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you would like to see more, feel free to subscribe.